It's his Urbi et Orbi, the message to the world and the city of Rome that he does every Christmas and every Easter, speaking on the central balcony at St. Peter's Basilica to the thousands of people that gathered there on this cold and windy December Christmas day. And really, he touches in these addresses really on conflicts and hotspots around the world. And he began very clearly, first off, with calling for talks between Ukraine and Russia, saying that there was a necessity for courage to open the door to negotiations towards a just and lasting peace. So really a very clear sign of what he sees as necessary dialogue in order to work towards peace. And then he touched on the Middle East as well, renewed the call for a ceasefire in the Israeli-Hamas war, as well as for the release of hostages held by Hamas. Now, he talked about the humanitarian condition, particularly for those in Gaza. He described it as being extremely grave and called for the doors of dialogue, as you put it as well, and peace to be flung open in this particular instance. Now, it's important to note that Pope Francis recently has become more critical of the Israeli military campaign in Gaza. Last week, he actually referred to it as, described it as cruelty, referring to airstrikes on schools and hospitals. He has been quite vocal on these two conflicts, both affecting the Middle East and in Ukraine, particularly, of course, as this has impact on Christian communities in the Middle East and the Holy Land in particular, Bethlehem in particular. Now, he touched on conflicts in other continents as well, in Asia, in the Americas, in Africa, particularly calling on the end to the division on the island of Cyprus as well. And while he talked about conflicts, he also, as he often does, talks about those that are on the peripheries, on the sidelines, that may have been forgotten, children that are suffering through conflict and hunger, the elderly that may be feeling lonely at this time of year, the unemployed, migrants and refugees, as well as prisoners having to deal with their long prison sentences. So really a far-ranging speech for the Pope on this Christmas, which is also the start of the Jubilee or Holy Year, an important year for pilgrims coming to the city of Rome, the Eternal City.